is Lori from Shoo Paper Art, and today I have this fun Z-fold card that is just a little bit different from a regular Z-fold card in that it has a window, and when you pull it open, the Z-fold kind of passes through the window. So I guess we can call it a Z-fold window pass-through card. Well, that works for me anyway. It features these adorable little mice, and that is from It's a Mice Time to Celebrate from MFT Stamps. Have the stamps and dies. They are just adorable. So let's get started on making this fun Z-fold window pass-through card. The first thing you're going to need is 2 pieces of cardstock. One for this outside portion, the card base that wraps around the Z-fold, and then another one for the Z-fold itself. The outside on this card, you could change the sizes, of course, to adjust what you want to use for your die cut. Mine is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 finished, so it starts out as 4 1/4 by 11 and scored in half so that it will be the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this is the die cut that I decided to use for the window. You could use just about anything that you have. It could be smaller. There's really no limit to what you can do just from what dies you have. And this will be passed through a Big Shot or whatever Cuttlebug, whatever machine you have to make the window, of course. Okay, so for the inside Z-fold, you will need well, this one is 3 by 9 1/2, but that kind of depends on your die cut. You want this piece to fit behind the die cut and be able to pass through the window without snagging on anything. So you want this piece to be a little bit smaller than the die cut itself. So mine ended up being 3 by 9 1/2. Now you also could adjust the length on this as well. But making it 9 1/2 will give me a 4-inch area to work with on the Z-fold. So I'm going to score this inside portion to make the Z-fold at 4 inches and 8 inches. All right. So we'll fold this in a minute. Let's go back to the outside piece, this piece. After it's run through the Big Shot, it's going to look like this with its window. Now, I have already begun decorating this one. I have decorated the back and the inside portion with that really fun plaid stencil that I'm really into right now. So let's go ahead and do the front. Now you could go ahead and do, if you're going to stencil or anything like that, you could technically go ahead and do it before you run it through your Big Shot. But I kind of wanted to know exactly where my die cut was going to be so I could decide where to stop my blue, sponging on of the blue or brushing on of the blue so that I could just barely get it onto the die cut itself. So that's one of the reasons why I waited to do the brushing on of the ink until after I had done the die cut. So I'm going to get this ready and ink it up. To continue with the rest of the decorating. Now we're ready to add the Z-fold portion on the inside. I've gone ahead and stenciled this up too. This is going to be the inside, and I went ahead and also put a little bit on the back just to decorate it a little bit. This of course will be glued down so it won't show, so I didn't put any stenciling on it. You're going to start by putting that Z-fold on the inside you want to kind of place it and then close your window and then adjust it so that it is in the middle of that window opening. And once you get it in place, I'm going to glue it down. Okay, before I glue this in, I want to go back to the piece of cardstock that we scored at 4 inches and 8 inches. This is 3 by 9.5. So to make this inside Z part, you're just going to fold, move this up here. We're just going to fold on the score lines. Now this is the, oops, did I do that crookedly? Here we go, let's fix that. Okay, the part that's going to go inside the card is going to be folded forward. And then the small piece that's going to connect to the lift off or the pass through is going to be folded back. And this is the piece that will attach to the top that pulls your die cut piece to pull it off. Okay? All right, so this is what we're going to place inside the card, and that's where we're at here with this one. Okay, so let's double check and make sure it's pretty much in the middle of the opening. Okay, and make sure also that you can fold it. You don't want it so far into this area that the card won't fold down, so make sure that you can fold the card down. And then go ahead and glue in that bottom portion. Once you have the bottom part glued into the card, you're ready to put the die cut back in. And you just go ahead and put glue on this tab. And then let's go ahead and put that in. All right. Okay, so now we've got the Z fold connected to the die cut. And so when you pull it through, it will open the whole entire thing. All right, let's continue decorating. Okay, let's take a look at the finished one and this really cool paper hug die. This is really fun. It's from the Stamp Market, and you get all these paper hug and hellos and then the die cuts to go with it. Very cool. All right, so I wanted this paper hug to not be super dark, so instead of just inking it directly with my ink pad onto the stamp, I went ahead and used the brush that I had been using earlier. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to need to ink it up with the brush about 3 times or so because it's really pale with the brush. So to do this with the die cut, I've got a piece of sticker paper with the sticky face up, and I've kind of attached the paper hug to the sticky to kind of keep it in place, because if I put any of the magnets on the paper hug, then it's in the way. They're in the way. Just to be perfectly honest, they're in the way. So this seems to work out fairly well. All right, I'm going to ink this up and get it stamped. Okay, So I've put the paper hug on, and the little pull tab here is from the Magic Picture Change Art add-on dies from Fawn, and I can't wait to use those. I think that's going to be fun. The pull portion is from the add-on, and it looks like this when it's die cut, and I just punched out the little letters and cut off. Instead of folding it, I just went ahead and cut off that extra little tab part, and then glued it to the front. Okay, back to looking at the completed one. This Sending You A is from the Scent From My Heart from Paper Sweeties, that adorable little puppy I just love. The sentiment is from right here, Sending You, and then the A from A Special Delivery, Sending You a Paper Hug. Okay, and then the mice are colored with Copics. They are stamped with London Fog Memento ink. Oops, let's make that closer. Can you see that? Yeah, I think we can see that now. They're stamped with Memento London Fog, and to kind of give them a no line look. And I think it's the first time I've ever used the toner T2, T2 Copic markers. I don't think I've used them before, but I like the color of grays there for the mouse. So I'm just going to color, and let's see what happens. Some Staedtler fine line pens. You can use them over and under Copics. It makes it really nice when you want to do some really tiny detail work, like, you know, the nose and the dots and the little eyes and mouth on these mice, and also the glasses. So there's a little bit of an idea of how all the mice were colored. You can see how he was put on the front, and then also how the inside mice were put on, and they're the exact same colors and colored the exact same way. There'll be a complete list on my blog of the Copics that were used, and of course the supplies will all be listed here beneath the video as well in the information part. So thank you for joining me today in making this fun Z-fold window pass-through card. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and you can always find me at shushupaperart.com.